Let's begin. My Wife the Sex Worker. Posted by Reddit user My Relation Account 2020.
My ex and I met in college. She was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. She always had a crowd of guys following her around. I had some classes with her over the 4 years, but I never pursued her because, well, all the other guys. One day after class, she asked if I would study with her, and the rest is history. So we married. Starting our careers in the same industry, different companies. A male-dominated industry. I found immediate success while she struggled. She changed jobs in the first year. She continued to struggle. In the third year, she became pregnant with our first son. She worked through the pregnancy. A few weeks after giving birth, in a routine physical, her doctor asked to do a biopsy of her cervix. The results came back as precancerous cells were found. The doctor advised, if we wanted more children, to do it as quick as possible, as this will progress and a hysterectomy will be needed eventually. So when she was up to it, she became pregnant again. She gave birth again to a boy within a year of each other. Afterward, more tests were done, and different doctors advised to do the procedure now as we should not wait. With 2 babies still infants, she had her procedure done. She was heartbroken that she was done having children as we had wanted a large family. She poured herself into being a great mother, and she was. She became a stay-at-home mom. She took care of everything at home. Meanwhile, my career was moving along. I was offered a position with another company with a large salary bump. Life is good. When the boys went off to school, she volunteered at school and was a fixture there. I should mention that we had close friends we went to school with. And B. We saw each other often. They started their family about the time we did. They have 1 son. The families went on vacations together, dinner, outings, we were best of friends. After the son was born, the mother went back to work and is very successful. B had a good job also until about 2001, where his job was eliminated. He struggled to find work in his field as the economy back then really affected his field. So, the decision was he would be a stay-at-home dad while looking for work where we lived, as they did not want to move. The ex and B did things together with kids. When the kids were all in school, they still hung out. You can now guess they had an affair. This story I know is long, but not over. After about a year of this hot sex in the morning, B asked X if she and I had ever talked about a threesome. It was all fantasy talk with us, as we were still having a great, if not slowing down, sexual relationship. B had a friend he wanted to bring into the bedroom with them. The ex agreed. The day came and this guy, C, came over to B's house. He took his suit off as X, and B got warmed up. So, they had their threesome. Afterward, the guy told them that he usually had to pay for sex, so he left a couple $100 bills and asked X if he could have a one-on-one with X. She told him she needed to think about that and B would get back to him. Eventually, C recommended someone else and a business was born. Eventually, B was re-employed and had to leave X on her own. She used a different cell phone. She rented out a storage unit and made it her closet and office. She used the money to buy outfits her clientele requested. She even bought a car. She did not want her minivan spotted at a hotel. The guys had to pay for a room at a nice hotel. She kept the car at the storage unit. Everything was in cash. She never brought the money into our lives that I know of. Though we would send the kids to different day camps during summer. She claimed she tightened up our budget to pay for it. She only worked during school hours. She always picked the boys up at school. On a few rare occasions, B would pick them up and keep them until she got home. Our home life never suffered. I admit I was working a ton and moving up the ladder. The weekends were our family time. Sex was generally on the weekends. I thought because of my work life, this worked best. Most nights we would cuddle on the couch watching TV. Almost done, 2016 comes along. We have 1 son in college, the other is senior in high school. I get a call from BX is in the hospital. He was vague, but said she is hurt bad. I rush to the hospital. My wife is hooked to a bunch of machines. They have already cleaned her up and taken her for x-rays. She has a broken jaw, broken nose, fractured orbital bone, possible concussion. She will make it, but will be a long road ahead. A police officer was finishing up and left. I of course want to know what happened. She was crying, talking gibberish through her sobs and pain meds. A nurse said I should let her rest. They were moving her to a room soon. She handed me a bag with her clothes. I looked in and asked if these were hers. Because she never wears heels and the dress was unfamiliar. The nurse said this is what they brought from the hotel room. So, they pushed me out of the room. I called my sons to let them know. Later that night, when the fog of the drugs was wearing off, I got some of the story. She drifted off again. I had my youngest son sit in with her. And I called B. Why did he call me? How did he know before me? What's going on? So, B came clean about what my wife was up to, leaving out the affair and his involvement. I was devastated. We eventually get her home after surgery on her jaw. The nose would wait. She convalesced at home. As she got stronger, I got the whole story. I called A and told of the affair and B is a pimp. She threw B out. As she got on her feet, I told her we were done. I asked her to move out. She moved in with B. I got the divorce rolling. I am sitting here 5 years divorced. I still love her. It is as if she had died. The grief is unbearable. My boys know what she did. I have not spoken to her since she left.
So if you gentlemen are wondering how OP's ex was sent to the hospital, OP told in the comments that one of her clients got upset, so she got her ass kicked and raped. His ex didn't want to press charges because it would have exposed what she was doing. I guess OP's ex-wife didn't want her reputation ruined. Speaking of reputation, OP also said that he didn't expose his ex-wife to her friends and family, which I completely disagree with. Who knows what ridiculous lies that woman has been telling everyone just to save face. OP should have exposed her secret. She should face the consequences of her actions. She cheated on OP with hundreds of men for over 15 years. And his best friend was her pimp, which I honestly believe should be in jail. OP's ex getting beat up was just one of the results of her stupid decisions, and the time has finally come for her to pay the price. Another thing I don't understand is why OP's sons are still in contact with their mother. If I learned that my mother has repeatedly cheating on my father without remorse, that would have been enough reason to cut contact forever. OP, my dude, I really do feel for you. That is a really fucked up thing to go through. I can only imagine your pain. You hate your ex for the terrible shit she has done to you, but you still love her, and that's normal. That is a common feeling that a lot of victims of infidelity has gone through. She would have probably left you eventually anyway. If you think about it, she's probably only staying with you because you make good money and was paying her bills. I doubt there was anything you could have done or changed. Your wife is just a really horny bitch, but she was smart enough to make a business out of it. There is no law to say that you have to stop loving someone even if they have hurt you. That's true. It's just really stupid to do so. Now I guess we can move on to OP's first update.
I originally posted a few weeks ago. You can check my profile. I did not update as there really was not anything to say. Until last night. I received a call from my oldest son, R, who is out of town for the holiday weekend. A friend called him to tell him his brother, S, had been in a motorcycle accident. He was with him, but did not see the accident as he was riding ahead. I rushed to the hospital ER. They were cleaning S and were sending him for x-rays. I was told to have a seat and the doctor would be out. A few minutes later, as I had my head leaning back and my eyes closed, I heard my name. I look up and my ex is standing in the doorway. She asked for news. I said I was waiting. She asked if she could sit with me. I invited her to a seat near me. I have not seen her in 5 years since the divorce happened. I did not know what to expect. I assumed that she would be disfigured from her beating. She was not, although her face was not as flawless as I remember. The one thing I did see was that her eyes no longer sparkled. This was a feature I never got enough of. Even with the mask on, her eyes did not look the same. Funny, what you notice? When she smiled, her face used to just light up. I imagine she just has a resting bitch face now. Anyway, while waiting we had a nervous catching up talk. She mentioned she liked the landscaping I did and how the plants, now matured, really look nice. This tells me she has been by the house, where I have no idea where she lives, and my sons were told never to mention her to me. During and after the divorce, I tried to purge any remembrance of her. I replaced the bushes in the yard, as it was something she had planned and planted. I did not mention that the inside of the house was redone also. I even ripped out a wall. I had a construction dumpster in the driveway for many months. She asked how I was doing. I don't know why, but I was honest that I had put myself at a standstill by working too much. However, I recently have been to a therapist and joined a gym. I also have taken up bike riding. She volunteered that she no longer just left it there unsaid. She stayed with B for a couple of months. She also was seeing a counselor who encouraged her to take some college courses in her degree field. That took a couple years. She is now employed full-time. She said she has dated minimally, leaving the statement open for me to answer. I figured the boys were keeping her up to date on me, so I had nothing to add. The doctor appeared and discussed the extent of injuries. The most serious was to his foot, an ankle pinned under the bike when it went down. They had scheduled him for surgery today. Everything is good, he just needs to heal and rehab. So, he will be in until at least tomorrow depending on his head injury, slight concussion. I offered my house to stay as I have the room and can work from home. We will finalize that today, although that means his mother will want to visit. That will be a healing process for me.
Take your time, OP. Check your feelings. Just baby steps, you know? It's okay to be cordial and polite to someone despite the pain they put you through. You're just being the better person. Not to mention that you may need the extra help to take care of your son. I figured that you got this. You sound like a mature and level-headed person. Just give her a guest room or even just a couch and keep your emotional distance. You never know if she might want to crawl back into your life. So I highly suggest that if your ex lives in your area or somewhere near it, just ask her to leave every night and drop by again in the morning. Because I certainly don't want to live with my cheating ex, especially knowing that they had fucked literal hundreds of men. Now for OP's second update.
My son is healing well. He still has a way to go. We have decided he will stay here while convalescing. He wants to go back to work next week. His boss is setting up something so he can work from home. I barely get him in the back seat of my SUV as he has to stretch out. It would be a nightmare driving him to work and back every day. Everyone has been asking about the ex coming over. I leave when she comes. I go to the gym or a bike ride. My oldest son has tried to have a sit-down dinner with the four of us, but I shut it down. She has been very gracious. She has not tried to force anything. She comes over and sits with our son. She will cook dinner for them. She brings groceries when she does cook. Sometimes his friends come over and it gets a bit rowdy for me, but he forgets about his problem when there are visitors. To say we never talk would be untrue. Our conversations do not stray from our sons or their lives.
Be very careful, OP. It sounds like she really is trying to slither her way back into your life, and your oldest son might be supporting her. You're making a smart move by leaving the house when she arrives. That way, she has zero opportunity to try and trick you. Also, I just wanted to say you're one damn good father. I hope both your children follow your example. I know it won't mean a lot coming from some random fucker on YouTube, but I just want to let you know that I really respect you and your convictions. I still don't agree with you not exposing her secret to friends and family, but hey, to each their own, right? But for now, it's time to listen to your final update.
This will be my last update. My son is healing nicely, the doctor says. He has a way to go with physical therapy. He is hobbling around. Still at my house. Working from home. I have returned to the office to give him some space. Now the ex has started what many of you have said. She is doing little things around the house. My son is not all that tidy. So, she is cleaning after him, doing his dishes. She will make a meal for him and always leaves a plate for me. I tell my son that can be his lunch the next day. She asked me the other night if I would be interested in going out to dinner tonight as my son has some friends coming over. I told her no. A little later she mentioned us getting a meal just to clear the air. Again, I told her no. I finally said we ended long ago because of your actions. It took me a long time to get over what was lost. I do not intend to revisit a relationship with you. She said okay. She understood where we stand. I did say I did not have a problem with her coming over to visit our son until he gets back to his place. I thanked her for cleaning up, but it's not necessary. Thank you all for the encouragement and kind words, but I will make it through this. My heart is hardened.
Yep, a true gentleman right here. As suspected, she tried to reconcile with you, thinking that you will probably be simping for her. Let's be honest here, she's probably approaching her 50s, a former prostitute, has a history of cheating, and has a body count in the hundreds. If she starts dating again, yep, she will definitely be scraping the very bottom of that barrel. No self-respecting man will even consider dating a woman with her history. I'm impressed. You basically told her to fuck off while being polite about it. Good job, OP. Much respect. Do you know what else will do a good job? Giving a super thanks to me, your host Patson. You directly supporting this channel will really help in my effort to bring you more of these videos in the future, and it will always be here on my YouTube channel, absolutely free. It's only a one-time donation and not a subscription, so please consider donating to Patson. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to Patson to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.